What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Slackerz, bringing you guys our next matchup in the Everyone is Here tournament. So if you haven't seen it before, it's very simple stuff. 100 characters go into a tournament format thing each day on the channel. Then I upload one of the matchups from this tournament, except for Sundays. And then we just kind of, I'll talk about the two characters, try to make a case for them for Smash Ultimate and DLC. And then we vote down in the comments. It's a part of the rules. Speaking of rules, I think I will throw those up on screen for you guys right now. And as you can see at the very top, it does say this is for fun. And yes, that is a rule because, look, we have assist trophies in this tournament. We have spirits in this tournament. We have Mii costumes in this tournament. We have characters that are quote-unquote disconfirmed in this tournament. Look, it is for fun. If you happen to enjoy and like a character and you would like to see them playable, regardless of what their current state is for Super Smash Bros., you can vote for them. It's completely fine. Just want to point that out. Just want to make that clear. It's very fine. If you like an assist trophy, go ahead and drop a vote for them if they happen to be in a matchup for the day. Totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with supporting a character. Another thing, though. You only get one vote per person. But how do you vote? Simple. Down in the comments, you type who your vote is for one of the two characters that are in the matchup for the day. So as an example, today's matchup is Jin Kazama from the Tekken series taking on Rex and Pyra from the Xenoblade series. So you vote for one of them down in the comments. You are allowed to vote for both. So if you happen to really enjoy both characters and you want to see them in the game as DLC, you can vote for both. Or if you just don't know who you really want to vote for, I guess you could vote both that way too. It's totally fine. Works that way. Rest of the rules, though, double elimination tournament, meaning character has to lose twice before being officially eliminated. And then each matchup, voting-wise, only lasts for 1 week. So today's Monday, which means we'll get the results of today's matchup next Monday. So it's only a 1 week process for each match, and then we'll get the results. And speaking of results, if once we get to them, to determine who won and lost, if there happens to be a tie in the number of votes, just going to flip a coin in camera. First way to break a tie. So that's all the rules. So let's jump into the matchup and the results for the day. Alright, so the results from last Monday's matchup was Shadow the Hedgehog. Yes, he says trophy. Totally fine. Remember, it's all good. But he's taking on Ribbon Girl, a spirit. See, it's all good. It's all fun. I don't think anyone's going to be too surprised at who ends up winning this one. Maybe it's a tiny bit closer than I would have thought. I mean, Shadow ended up winning by like 24 votes. I mean, it's still a big number of votes, but Shadow won 58 votes to Ribbon Girl's 34 votes. So, this is the winner's bracket. Everybody's still alive. Shadow just moves a bit farther into the winner's bracket. Ribbon Girl just drops to the loser bracket. Quick note, a few people, actually more than a few, there's a decent amount of people that were in the comments saying that they enjoyed ARMS. They do think ARMS should get a rep at some point in Smash Bros., whether it be DLC or the next game. So, yeah, ARMS seems to be enjoyed by at least quite a few people. Maybe not everybody, but a few people at least. So, maybe it gets a rep in the future. Who knows? But there you go. Congrats to Shadow. So, with the results out of the way, we're going to the matchup for the day, which is another winner's bracket matchup, right? So, should be fun. Like I stated earlier, Jin Kazama from the Tekken series takes on the duo from Xenoblade, Rex and Pyra. So, again, Rex and Pyra. If you happen to only be a fan of Rex, it's totally fine. You could just say Rex. Yeah, I know what your vote is. I understand what you're saying. So, yeah, that's how that works. So, let's talk about him real quick. So, first up, Jin. Jin's an outstanding character. Again, Tekken, Bandai, big time speculation now that, you know, leakers have been kind of disconfirming, you know, certain characters for Fighter Pass character number 5. I actually have a video coming out about that a little bit later today. But, yeah, so we got these leakers saying, you know, this character, this character, this character, and this character are not going to be DLC number 5. So it's like, alright, who's logically next? Who's legitimately, who could be next? And everyone's starting to focus on Bandai Namco as a company. They work on Smash Bros. They have been working on Smash Bros. They only have one character that's playable on the roster in Pac-Man. Now, for somebody that's helped out Nintendo tremendously with one of their biggest franchises, and so many other people kind of, maybe it's a point that maybe gets overblown a little bit, but I still think it's a point that the fans, it's like out of respect. All right, hey, you really helped us out here. We like to repay you guys by let's get another character. There's a good chance that when Nintendo was coming up with the list of potential DLC characters, I'm sure they probably threw a few Bandai Namco characters on there. Tekken, big franchise, known pretty much worldwide. They got a lot of notable characters. Hayachi, of course. Not in this matchup. He's somewhere else in the tournament. I don't remember off the top of my head right now, but he's in the tournament. But today, Jin. Jin is one of those other more familiar faces. If you're somewhat of a casual kind of fighting game fan, and you've at least chances, if you've played Tekken, you should recognize the name first of all. And again, Tekken series fighting game. The whole problem why Hayachi could not be implemented into Smash Wii U and 3DS as a playable character was the moveset, and I think it was always facing the right way during 1v1 battles. Sakurai has fixed the facing the correct way like they do in their games. He's fixed that. Ryu and Ken have that. I believe Terry Bogard has that as well, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to double check. Not sure, but I think he does. So fighting game characters, they always have the 1v1, and anytime you get up, you're going to be facing your opponent. So that was kind of an issue. And I always say this, if you give Sakurai enough time to kind of sit down and kind of come up with a solution for whatever problem he might run into, chances are he's going to figure it out, and he's going to be able to do it, right? And he's done that. He had that was the big issue with Hayachi, and I'm pretty sure anyone at Tekken, that was a big issue. Fixed, solved. You don't have to worry about that anymore. So you got this character from a fighting franchise that now can fit in Smash Bros. Moveset-wise is already there. It's already at the disposal. A very popular character. The name is known. Again, doesn't have to be a factor. Like we seen with Sakurai last week, he did say character has to be fun, not more than he has to be recognizable or whatever that quote was. You guys know which one I'm talking about. So Jin is a fun character. He is I think statistically one of the more played characters online in Tekken, if I was reading that correctly. I don't have a link right now, but I was reading a thing about like breakdowns for each character. I believe Jin was one of the top most played characters for at least Tekken 7. That's what I was reading. So another thing, if Jin were to actually get in, if anybody knows Tekken, Devil Jin, can we get that as an alternate costume? Alternate skin, please? That's just perfect. It just makes too much sense not to have. So, I mean, there's not really too much to say. Yes, he would be another hand-to-hand kind of combat fighter. There are some people that are like, all right, we got enough. Hey, we just got Terry. Do we really need another hand-to-hand combat fighter? I get the point. You want more variety, and there's nothing wrong with that. I believe you me. I'm completely fine if we get something. Give me a green blob of jelly and tell me it's a new character from an upcoming franchise, and I'll be like, all right, give me a chance. I'll give it a chance. It could be something different, So I get the wanting something different. It's totally fine. But I don't know. Tekken, big name, great characters. Moveset is very easy to implement. So we'll see what happens. But another character that I think would be much more fun, just a personal preference, personal opinion. I think these characters would be much more fun. Yes, Rex was the bonus for buying the Fighter's Pass. And Sakurai did look pretty down when he mentioned that Rex was not going to be able to be a playable fighter because he missed the cutoff for Smash Ultimate's DLC. Or not the DLC, but the base roster. And I think... no, not that I think. We know that it was pretty much... That was like Rex's consolation prize. Like, alright, we'll give you a Mii costume at least. You get something. You'll be repped in Smash Bros. He does have a spirit as well. But with DLC... Sakurai was a big fan. You could clearly see it. He loved Xenoblade. He loved Rex the character. Chances are, Sakurai likes to stick to the character themselves and how they really play and feel. And that's why Rex and Pyra would make such a great character. We do have, very, very small handful of characters that would be labeled like duo characters if you want to put, you got Ice Climbers, you got Duck Hunt if you could put them in that category. Banjo-Kazooie, I guess you could put that in the category as well. Other than that, you really don't have that. So kind of controlling maybe 2 characters at once, or maybe Rex's special moves. Pyra ends up coming out and just kind of assisting him with whatever certain moves that it might be. So moveset is very easy. They come from the RP, everybody knows what Xenoblade is if you're a Nintendo fan. At least you should know what type of game it is, especially... I mean, they are repped in Smash Bros. The name is out there. It was one of the more highly considered or most speculated characters to join the initial base roster until we found out all the information about, it's too late, couldn't make the cut and everything. Xenoblade is another franchise for Nintendo that seems to be like on the rise. Nintendo's getting behind it. They're pushing it out. We had a game on the Wii. Then they had the game... the Wii game ended up getting ported over to the 3DS as well. Then we had Xenoblade Chronicles X on the Wii U, and now we have Xenoblade 2 on the Switch. So, like, Nintendo's behind this franchise. They're pumping out new games. The franchise is continuing with its momentum. Lots of people enjoy the game. It's a very fun game. If you've ever been on the fence about Xenoblade, maybe start at the beginning, I guess. But if you're ever on the fence and you're like, all right, I got to switch. I was thinking maybe about Xenoblade Chronicle or Xenoblade 2. Go for it. I think you'll enjoy it. If you're on the fence, do it. Do it. But character-wise, come on. It'd be a fun tandem, a fun duo, a fun play style. More, 2 more characters, maybe, just... I don't know. Like, I can picture them. They work very well in Smash, first of all. Moveset is easy. I don't know. Just to me, these are 2 characters, or 1 character as a whole, that I looked at when the base roster and all the predictions was going around. This was a character I did want to see in the roster. I really thought Xenoblade as a franchise kind of earned its second playable rep. And, these guys would be perfect. Whether Rex comes as a solo character or whether he gets paired with Pyra and or Mythra. I think it'd be a fascinating combination. I mean, think about that. Rex, Pyra, and Mythra for a second. First triple, first 3-person team in Smash Bros. That would be nuts. That would be a fun character right there. Be pretty awesome. But, for me, more of an attachment to Rex and Pyra here. So, they got my vote in this one today. So, let me know who you guys are voting for down in the comments. Either Jin or Rex and Pyra. Or both. Those are your options. Anyway, that is it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. A little sneak peek for tomorrow. Looks like we have... I think some people were dubbing her last time. They weren't... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Morgan. Morgan from Darkstalkers, the queen of crossovers. Pretty sure that's what people were dubbing her last time in her matchup. But she is taking on a very formidable opponent in Rayman, so we'll see what happens with that. That should be fun. That's the matchup, but the results for tomorrow are going to... back to Bandai, another Bandai character. It's either going to be Captain Syrup, not the Bandai character, and she was taking on Lloyd Irving. We'll see how his results and that fared out, so we'll see who wins that. But that's tomorrow. Today's today. Today's wrapping up. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, everybody.